So why am I making a big deal about a small but effective memo? Well, because Bill Mitchell is like a lot of other newsroom leaders these days. He's supervising the website. He's responsible for quality, for productivity, and yet he doesn't directly supervise many of the people who are producing for him. They've got other bosses. So what does he have? Doesn't have firing power or hiring power for them. No, all he can do is motivate them. So for effective collaboration, he focuses on communication. And here he shares his philosophy with me.
I hope that it's the same philosophy that guides whatever I write elsewhere, and that is that as much as I'm writing it for today to a particular group of people, I want to acknowledge and anticipate the second day story here. And in the case of the memo we're talking about today, it's how people might react and where things would go from there.
You're sending out instructions, essentially. You're giving people some work to do or a task or a reminder that something may need to be better. Sometimes people feel that they're being corrected or corralled. How do you deal with that?
Well, I think you, first of all, anticipate and recognize that that's how people will react, and then try to address it with good humor and in a collegial way that invites their critique of the process as well as the substance of what you're doing.
What's your advice for leaders who need to communicate with communicators?
Put yourself in the shoes of the people receiving what you're about to send before you hit the button, and then cut it at least by a third or so.
Why is that?
Well, because we're all too wordy in what we write for air, for publication. We can usually tell stories more briefly than we do, and if readers, viewers, patience with what we publish these days is growing thin, so too in the newsroom. People don't have a lot of time for memos. They're looking to get to the heart of the matter pretty quickly.
How do you telegraph intent, a good intent or a benign intent, so that people don't misread you?
Well, in the case of this memo that we're talking about, which is just the style guide for writing for Poynter Online, I didn't want it to be a knuckle-rapping kind of memo because I especially am in great need of copy editing and reminders about what it takes to write in a way that adheres to a style guide. So I want to be collegial. I want to acknowledge that we want to perform better to our standards, but I want to do it in a way that engages people as opposed to reprimand them.